ng bulok na sistema ng armed forces, lahat ng bulok na sistema ng armed forces.
Dito po sa aming pagpasok sa plea bargaining agreement, dito po ay sa kaalaman ng lahat at sa publiko na wala pong warian. I would like to ask him that question. Major Abusa, why have you been all my life? Not protectors, but predators of the people, or I detailed the amount received. According to the jurisprudence or the decisions of the to send to jail all these generals. Several members of the Blue Ribbon Committee, right now that we are doing the hearing, COA called for a press conference. Wala ho kaming pera, panlaban sa media, panlaban ho sa mga statement.
Balinan na idaga na gingon nga bayad ko ng 5,000 kaya ko makapuyo og apat ang nila ko niya pero kantig karon wa yun niya ko dire ko silon ila kong pasyon baka di ko muawa dire kay dire na ko natiguang maluoy ka sa ako
both sa inyo, at least sasabihin niyo the investigation is fair. So I always, the crime scene is always open for the NBI to
beses lang. And the purpose of you traveling to Davao City is what?
Kasi pinapunta nila ako doon eh.
For what?
Wala naman akong sabi nila kailangan ko magbigay ng tuition fee.
Paano ito kung sinasabi ng ating konstitusyon na proteksyon na ng ating mamamayan at ng ating mga nakatanong institusyon, ang BNP, BNB, BILG, Commission on Human Rights, ay talagang pwede po namin takbuhan. Ako po ay 24 oras na hanggang sa hindi na nakatutulog dahil ako po ay nagsampa ng kaso sa mga pulis, sa amin po ng barangay, sa amin provincial director ng PNP. Ako naman ang gusto nilang ipapatay.
Nahihirapan po ang Pilipino to cope up. Bukang hindi niya kaya na habulin yung presyo. Yan na lang sa pagkain. Huwag na yung iba. Pwede na natin yung graft and corruption. Nandyan yan eh. Kasi anong klaseng administrasyon.
The power in this country, the power to decide, the power to formulate policies are really in the hands of the people. So, my third suggestion is how do you transfer the power of policy making, policy implementation from the hands of the few to the people.
Audit report at hindi tama ang pag-appreciate ng elements of the crime na nakuha ng ating audit team. So, I'll give you some sort of an idea. No? I conducted an OPO sa Bunsoto when the decision was by the Supreme Court, when was affirmed, the decision was affirmed by the Supreme Court, I think 18 years old ang anak ko. Ganun kahaba yung proseso. The audit is taking so long na at times parang hindi mo na mapanagot yung tinatawag natin persons liable. Either mahina na sila or patay na. Di ba?
Biglang nagka-wheelchair na, biglang nagka-neck-break. Pero bakit pa matagal? Dahil pa sa procedural complexities or undermanned, under-resourced? Kasi we had similar questions also to people who are in the justice system. Bakit ang bagal ng hustisya? So we talked about, logistics. For instance, one judge averaged 744 cases, right? Like ang dami ng mga pre-detainee, mga tao na, so congested yung penitentiary system mo. So eventually we were able to...
May kwento pa ako sa'yo. Meron kaming team na nagkas-exam sa Quezon, ano? Alam mong ginawa ng accountant? ano siya, nag-awol siya, sinama niya yung laptop kung saan nandun yung phone accounting system. So wala. We're very open in terms of citizens participation. Introduce natin dito yung citizens participatory audit. At ito ay ginamit doon sa audit ng Kamanaba Flood Control. At ang ginamit natin partner ay yung mga citizens partners nung beneficiary, yung mga areas na nakatira doon sa binabahang area na yon. Nag-citizens participatory audit din tayo ng mga health centers ng Tumana ng Marikina. In other words, ito yung pinakabago at sabihin natin at parang pinakahinangaan. Binigyan tayo ng award sa United Kingdom and we were recognized by international organizations of Supreme Audit Institutions kasi for the first time, we opened the space for citizens participation and we introduced a more informal mechanisms of accountability. Kasi nga, yung formal mechanisms of accountability, too rigid, too bureaucratic, na oftentimes hindi nagiging practical. So we bring in yung tinatawag nating informal mechanisms. The citizens trying to take part in the process such as audit. Pero
We're not done. From your perspective, from an auditor's perspective, from an accountability perspective, what do you think were things that were going right and ano yung mga pitfalls na nangyari along the way?
And then yung team compositions, ano? So because of that, nalinya kami dun sa tinatawag na fraud audit. Ayan, ang dami-dami, buhay na buhay yung fraud audit na. And of course, nandun yung puso ko kasi mula bata ako, di ba? Yun ang nakita ko, yung corruption, yung kawalan sa Quezon. So because of that, parang ready na ako together with the rest of the office. Parang sa office namin, dahil kami yung parang special audit team, ready kami for any type of audit.
Saan tayo nagkakulang when it comes to ombudsman, accountability institutions, in spite of having people like you who are, heart and soul into this thing? Yeah.
Okay, una muna sa part ng Commission on Audit kasi baka sabihin ng ombudsman unfair ako eh.
Hey, sorry. Okay, yeah, you can give a caveat. I'm just taking a more holistic point.
Of course, matagal yung tinatawag na ating bureaucratic processes. You cannot start an audit right away, especially kung special audit team ka. You have to introduce the team, you have to wait for an initial audit conference, and after the initial audit conference, you will be requesting for the submission of the documents. Yan, nagtatagal din yung proseso ng submission ng documents because if you are the one being audited, syempre you will play every possibility na makadelay mo yung submission, di ba? And then after that, syempre magkakaroon tayo ng actual process ng audit. Yung audit process, mahaba yan. May preparation, may execution, may report writing, may evidence gathering, may report writing, So, bago ka makapag-come up with the actual audit observations, kailangan na-weigh mo na talaga yung evidences. You're too sure of it, And usually, may proseso pa yan. Kahit na sabihin natin audit observation pa lang yan, may review process yan. Doon pa tayo nagtatagal sa review process. First, yung team leader, i-reviewin yung report ng team supervisor, i-reviewin ng division, i-reviewin ng office, i-reviewin, etc., hanggang tumaas. Pagkatapos doon, hihingin mo yung management comment. Pag hingin ng management comment, ayan, magde-delay na naman sila. Mga 1 week, bibili ang magiging 1 month, etc. And then, you're going to put them together, meaning to say the audit observations you have and the management comments. And again, you have to spend time trying to analyze the strength of your audit observation vis-a-vis management explanation, di ba? And then, isi-sift mo na naman, alin dito yung tatayo at papasok sa audit report. Pagdating nun, after nung exit conference mo, meron kang audit highlights, i-develop mo na yung audit report mo. And then, re-reviewin na naman yung audit report. There has to be some, what we call, yung due process. Kasi nga, pagkatapos nito, lalo na kung fraud audit ito, gagamitin siya ng ombudsman sa pag-file ng kaso, di ba? So, even at our level, we make sure na yung quality, yung depth ng evidence, ng audit evidence, at unang-una, yung standards of audit na preserve, in all aspects, in all process of audit. Medyo mahaba na yun, Sabihin mo mga 1 year, Ang malupit pa dyan, re-reviewing na naman yan ng taas, bago pirmahan, lalong-lalo na kung ang pirma ay chairperson o kaya yung director ng special audit. Not to mention, Richard, ilang teams ang magpapa-review at isang tao lang ang mag-review ng lahat ng maraming audit reports. Mukhang kakaiba yung ginawa ng auditor. susulat ka pa ng confidential report sa chairperson para mo mapakita kung ano yung nangyari at ano yung sitwasyon. So, the process is so delicate kasi we need to build the kind of evidence that will stand in court. Not only that, you have to observe the due process na tinatawag, and not to mention the review and of compliance with the standards of audit that you have to comply. Re-reviewing nga naman nila. Most of the time, umuupo kami as a team, di ba? Ang problema ngayon, sa dami ng complaints, sa dami ng request for audit, you can just imagine, ilang audit report yun at ilang audit reports ang papasok sa Office of the Ombudsman. And I have to admit na at times, hindi kami nagtatagpo. We're looking at audit evidence, sometimes yung elements ng crime na hinahanap ng mga prosecution ay hindi na-capture ng aming audit.
Sa daming layers nito, parang you're almost set up to be always behind the curve in terms of, kasi magaling sa mga politiko eh. Magaling ang mga politiko mag-invest. I mean, by the every election cycle, naka-invest na sila ng new ways. So you're always parang catching up, right? With itong mga persons of interest, let's just put it that way. Saan po galing yan? Kasi obviously the idea of Ombudsman Office was inspired by the Scandinavian model, Sweden.
Lahat ng agencies, take a look at the local governments. Ilan yan? Diba? Halimbawa sabihin natin, 89 provinces. Bawat province, ilan ang munisipyo? Ilan ang city? Ilan ang barangay? O diba? Lahat yan, auditin mo. Kung ilang libang barangay, auditin mo yan. Although cyclical yan. Not to mention national government agencies. Not to mention government corporations. Aside from the fact na hindi lang nag-audit yung auditor. Ikaw din ang nag-i-issue ng notice of suspension and disallowances. Alam mo ba, Richard, kung gaano ka-time-consuming yung processing ng notice of suspension? Ang notice of suspension per transaction yan. So, bawat disbursement voucher, hihimayin mo. Ilan ang pumirma doon, ilalagay mo lahat yung pangalan nila, ilalagay mo lahat yung participation nila. So, napakahaba ng proseso, no? On the side of audit pa yun, no?
So, inherently, ito, ganitong complicated. Yan. Pero gusto kong tanongin, because we had people like J Mark, among others, yung kaibigan natin, Jimmy Network back in the day. He's using, for instance, AI to sift through.